you get a text from me. Hey, I have a really stupid idea for a photo. And your response is 2 words. I'm in.
Work hard, rest often.
And that's how it all started. This was arguably the most insane photo shoot I've ever done. Welcome back, or if you're new around here, my name is Finn Badgley. I'm a commercial photographer and all-around content creator. And this particular shoot, oh!
Yes, that's it right there.
Yeah, don't try this at home. So we've all seen main character energy is blowing up. Everyone wants to be the main character. And I thought, what better way than to create a main character style shoot? Now, we all know the best way to do this is have somebody hanging out of a car. Except sometimes you have to be hanging out of a car yourself in order to photograph them. So that's exactly what we did. Now this was a mix of photo and video, and for the video, to give it a little extra spice, I added some Super 8 filters over top of that to actually give it that added main character energy, because film just has that quality to it. I shot a mix of film and digital like I do for a lot of my projects. The film photos, I'm really pumped with how they turned out, shot on my Mamiya 645, and the digital photos shot on my Canon EOS R. And then I used my phone to record a lot of the behind the scenes footage here as well. This was a whole operation because at first I was in the back of a pickup truck sitting on a stool. Now, granted, disclaimer here, this was on a private road. We had as many safety precautions as we could in place. We were communicating via walkie-talkies. It was an operation.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Feel free to move your arms a little bit more as well.
As you're seeing these photos, I don't recommend you try to do this. But just know that for us in doing so, we had things covered so that way it wouldn't be anything hairy, nobody was hurt, and it was a situation where nobody should have gotten hurt anyways. Now that said, huge shout out to the model here. Oh my God, she was super down. Just hanging out of a sunroof, hanging out of the window of a car, wind blowing everywhere, but the photos were so worth it. From me photographing from behind her in a pickup truck as she's out the sunroof, because the other car didn't have a sunroof. In a perfect world it would have, but you know, you work with what you have. Then hanging out the passenger side of the other vehicle here and talking on walkie-talkies between me, the driver in the pickup truck, and the driver of the car, so that way we could get it all coordinated. And I was also yelling for her to lean more out the window. And here's the thing, to really sell it, I wanted that motion blur. We just needed that, because the last thing I want is to be doing these roller shots and have it look like it's static. At that point, you might as well get outside of the car and stay in there static and have somebody blowing like there's wind in her hair or something. And that's not what I wanted. I wanted that motion blur in there. So I knew that I had to be moving, she had to be moving. Because she would be sharp, because we're moving together. But everything else would be blurred because we're both moving. You want to match your shutter speed roughly to the speed that you're going. Now this generally works for miles per hour. In Canada, we use kilometers because we're just different like that. So you do a rough calculation of how many miles it would be. Keep your shutter speed to that. And because the thing is, the slower we go, the slower those cars move, the slower my shutter speed has to be in order to get that motion blur. So you can hear me on the walkie-talkie, I'm going faster. We gotta go faster. We gotta go faster. We gotta go faster. So that way we get that motion blur in there, and my God, it worked perfectly. Look at these shots. And honestly, some of my favorite ones are from when I crawled into the back seat of the car and was looking at her through that as she's hanging out the window. Now this was a balancing act, trying to frame her as the hood is cutting off part of her head. I'm trying to frame her up properly, but my God, oh, these chef's kiss because these turned out so great. Like literal main character energy here. And not only was V super pumped on these, but these just, it's one of these projects that you have an idea in your head, and when you see it come to life and you can see it as you're taking the photos, you're like, this is it. I'm getting it. I'm getting the shot.
Yeah, and can you put
like,
that hand out a little bit if you can?
It's the best feeling. In fact, I think I have to print some of these photos. It's that good. But for a photo shoot that I pitched to literally everyone involved as a stupid idea, oh, it was worth it. So the question is, what stupid idea will I come up with next? Thank you so much for watching that. I hope you really enjoyed the behind the scenes look here. A little different style, but I wanted to try something different. V's info is all going to be in the description down below, so make sure to check her out because she is a trooper. Now, with all that said, feel free to subscribe if you like this kind of thing and want to see more different videos like this from me in the future. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, as it does actually make a difference. And you know what? Comment down below what a stupid idea for a photo you've had is. I'd love to hear some stories down in the comments. And as always, work hard and rest often.